I'll start now. My name is Qazi Fazli Azeem. I'm a media and advertising educator. I'm also the assistant professor at SZABIST University, Karachi, in the media science department. And I'm going to talk about and demonstrate also the free AI tools that are available to you. I have about 20 years of experience in design, mostly computer or graphic design or interaction design, user experience. Mostly, I would say visual design, so from the visual point of view. What was used to be called communication design or graphic design. So let's start. So what are you going to learn today? I will talk about some free tools that are available to you without any cost, that won't really cost you anything. I'll talk about how to create different variations of logos very easily. There are some free tools available to you at no cost. You don't have to pay for them. They can be a good starting process for you when you start your design process. And I'll tell you how to kind of upscale or enhance your images using some of these free tools. And just one thing that these opinions expressed in this video are my own opinions. They are not the opinions of Ringstar or my employer or my clients. Okay, so why am I here? I have about 20 years of experience in design, pretty much all kinds of design. I won the Fulbright scholarship. I studied in the US for my design, a master's degree. I've studied at the MIT Media Lab, and I've done a lot of interesting work in the area of design and entrepreneurship. I'm also a freelancer. I'm a level 2 seller on Fiverr, and around over a decade of experience working on Upwork and other online websites. So why freelance? You're all here because you're feeling it. Post-COVID era, the economy, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things around you are expensive, especially travel costs. People have found that working remotely or online saves on your travel time and cost. So it's generally a good idea to start thinking about maybe shifting some or most of your work remotely or online. There's a lot of effect of AI tools in the last couple of years, particularly the last year around the world, not just in our part of the world, in Asia, Europe, all across, not just Middle East and Asia, but pretty much everywhere. You've seen job losses and a lot of automation has happened. A lot of these tools are not free. Some of the professional tools you're aware of, they're paid, but I'll be talking about the free tools that you don't have to pay for, at least not right now. They're free right now. You don't really have a choice. You really have to do online freelance work now because it gives you freedom. You can work at your own pace, and obviously earning in a different currency obviously helps in your business. So let's start. The first question I get asked pretty much everyone who talks about AI, they ask, well, will AI take my job? The real answer is not directly, but somebody using AI the right way may take your job away, right? So you have to be that person. You have to be the person using AI the right way so that you have better opportunities. You can do more work in less time. The most important thing that AI does for you, it saves your time. A lot of the time in your initial conceptual process, your ideation process, when you start thinking about ideas, this is really where AI can really help you, give you options and save you time, right? And as a consequence, you're spending less time on your project and maybe getting paid faster, right? So that it works out in everyone's favor. It gives you a great starting point for your work. You can even do things that you're not really trained for, things that require years of experience, like making apps or games, writing novels, making music. This is all possible. I won't talk about all the aspects of AI, only those that are related to designers, preferably visual designers, communication designers, graphic designers. I'll be talking about the visual aspects. If you are using AI and you tell that to your current employer, to your HR, I think they'll see that as a positive thing because your current employer and your future employers probably will ask for your future job, right? They're going to ask you this question: can you use AI? Can you use ChatGPT, or can you use these other tools that are available out there? Simply because they save you time, they save everyone's time, and they allow you to get more done faster. So I'll be starting now with the first demonstration. So I'm going to go to a website called firefly.adobe.com. Keep in mind, this is a free website. You don't have to have any paid account or for this. All you need to do is go to adobe.com and make a free Adobe user ID. It's completely free. All you need is an email address, any email address. If you haven't already made an Adobe ID, you should, because if you're not aware, you can obviously upload your portfolios on the website. I think it's called behance.net. So if you're not familiar with this, you should have a portfolio on behance.net. I'm quickly going to demonstrate it for you because I feel this is something that you should know. So I'm just showing you my portfolio. See, behance.net first. Again, it's free. You don't have to pay anything for this. It's a completely free website. You can have, if you are a designer of any kind, of any nature, some of your work should be, or at least your better projects, your best projects should be demonstrated and available here, right? So just an example, and this is an Adobe website. Adobe purchased this company a couple of years ago, and obviously to use Behance free of cost, you just need to make an Adobe ID, right? This is a reminder that if you don't, you should also, just like you have a portfolio or a profile on LinkedIn, right? I'm sure also if you have that, your CVs are on linkedin.com. Just like that, you should also have your portfolios on behance.net. If you don't have it, it's a free website, both of these are. So I'm actually going to talk about the first one, Firefly to adobe.com. And let me actually open that up right now. Yeah, so let me just copy this, Control-C copy. And I'm going to open that up. It's right here. There it is, right? So this is what the website looks like, firefly.adobe.com. Now I'm going to zoom in right now so you can see a bit better. I'm sure some of you maybe I don't know, seeing this on a phone or some other device. So I'm zooming in slightly. This might allow you to see a bit better actually. So you go to firefly.adobe.com and let me just zoom out of this, right? Okay, so you can see a lot of options there. Zoom out and show you. Yeah. So one option it says is text to image, one is generative fill. There's a text effects option. There's also a generative recolor. There's a lot of other things there also. These options will be available probably by the end of this year, 2023. A lot of interesting, amazing options. They really speed up your process. I'll show you this one by one because these really save you time, right? So let's see the first one. This is text to image. That means you're basically going to type in something. Example, a football field, or in the dark, right, with the moon visible in full size, right? So for example, I want this kind of an image, right? I'm just going to copy this. This is text. This is just text, written stuff, nothing else. You click on the first option, text to image. Now, how have I logged into this website? I have an Adobe ID. Let me just move this. So this, I've logged in with my Adobe ID. It's completely free. You don't need to pay them. You just need an email address to make it. And once you log in, you're able to use this system, right? So I'm over here. I'm just going to click on the first option, text to image. It opens that page up. And as soon as it does that, you now have to type, yeah, you have to type what you want right below. And they're showing you a lot of examples of people that have typed different things, right? They're showing you, for example, somebody typed a unicorn in magical grove, extremely detailed concept art fantasy. So you can see that somebody has typed this, and this is the thing, that image that popped up. So let me just paste that text I typed. That was a football field in the dark with the moon visible in full size. Let me press enter. And it's just going to take a few seconds. It sends that information to the internet. It waits a few seconds, just like a website. You wait for a website to load up. It's just going to give me a couple of options here. It's loading up. So as you can see, yeah, it did give me a couple of options. And obviously you can add variations to it, right? So for example, now I can say with a dinosaur, something that you wouldn't expect, right? Flying in the air. Let's see what happens with that. Something pretty different. Let's press generate again. I just want to check if it actually can. It pretty much can handle every kind of text prompt. Now, as soon as again, it takes a few seconds. It sends this information on the internet, and then it waits for it to reply. It pops up in your web browser. Now it's taking slightly longer because now it's searching. And okay, so it tried to make a lot of interesting things. If I don't like what I see, obviously I don't see a flying dinosaur, right? It might get confused sometimes. So maybe I'll just stick to one of these as this example. Now, now if you want more, right, you can click on this button here and you can click on show similar. So what it'll do is it'll keep this as a reference and it'll try to get variations of this. So different kinds of different variations of an image like this, right? And every time you click on this refresh button, show similar, it's going to show you like 4 variations of it. So I'm just doing this one more time and then I'll show you, right? Sometimes when you click a few times, you get better examples. So, okay, this seems to be appropriate, but again, it's not a flying dinosaur. It's a dinosaur probably jumping in the air, but okay. I think I'll sort of keep something like this. This is good. Okay. And then, so you have this option called generative fill. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to download this image and let me click on the download button. Now, as soon as I click on download, you see it does something very interesting. It applies, because keep in mind, this is a free version, right? You're not paying for this. Adobe is giving this to you free. So what it basically does is the image it gives you, it's downloaded this image to my computer. It's applied a watermark. A watermark is basically like a kind of a copyright notice, right? Just like you have a small logo somewhere or a sign somewhere, you know, in an image. So it's applied a watermark, and this image, by the way, is 72 pixels per inch. Let's open this. I'm going to right click and open this picture in Photoshop just to show you. Let me open this with Photoshop. I have Photoshop loaded up, any version, pretty much any version. I just want to show you that if I click on image and image size in Photoshop, this is a 72 pixels per inch image. Now, why is this important? Because see, if you are doing any kind of design work for the internet, for screens, for presentations, for videos, this is fine as an image. It's good enough, right? You can pretty much use this. However, if you're working on print, meaning if you want to print this, perhaps you have a printer at home, you want to print this using a commercial press. Maybe you want it at 300 pixels per inch, right? That particular standard. You'll have to do that manually. If you want Photoshop to give you a 300 pixels per inch image, it can actually do that. For that, you need to pay them and get the Creative Cloud license. And there's a Photoshop beta app that they have, where if you actually click on this, the main screen, you know, where I went here, if you go back here, see, it says Firefly is coming to your favorite apps now in Photoshop. Click to get the Photoshop beta app. You click on that, they'll obviously ask you for money for licensing, a small monthly payment. And then you can get because the beta app has one advantage that this doesn't have. It allows you layers, transparency, different layers, and you can work on 300 pixels per inch, right? But right now, I was just showing you that example. So let me just quickly paste that. Actually, yeah, so actually I download that image, right? And I have it here. So now suppose you want to use this, right, for your work, and you obviously want to remove this watermark maybe. So what you can do is you can use any of these tools. You have your clone stamp tool, for example, you can manually kind of remove that, or there's another interesting thing that you can do. What I'm going to show you is something very, very interesting that most people don't know about. This particular image, right? This is a JPEG file. It's down in Photoshop. I'm going to use the crop tool, press C, the crop tool in Photoshop, and let's extend it a bit from the left. Watch what I'm going to do. Something very interesting. I just extended this image a bit from the left, and I said, okay, right? So now I have this extra white area. So notice on the left, some extra white area on the left. I'm going to save this file save. So I have saved this image. I'm just going to save it. High quality save, right? I saved this image, it's saved, some extra white area, right? Now watch what I'm going to do. Something very interesting is about to happen. I'm going to go back to Firefly, and this time I'm going to choose the second version that's called generative fill, right? I'm going to click on generate, and I'm going to upload that image, the image I just saved. I think it's in my downloads folder right here. That's the file. Remember, I just edited it. I added some white. I'm going to upload that over here. As you can see, it's here. Now, what I'm going to do here is the generative fill option. This is like a brush, right? And this is, you can use your curly brackets next to the O and P letter key on your keyboard. The letter O and P right next to them are those, those curly brackets, right? Left and right. So these curly brackets allow you to make your brush bigger and smaller, right? You can do that. So I'm going to make the brush right about there. And by the way, Control plus, zoom in, zoom out. Those of you who know Photoshop know the shortcut keys, I'm sure. Control plus, zoom in, control minus, zoom out. And the space bar is the hand tool, right? Allows you panning. So I'm just going to do that. I just put my space bar here. There you go. Now watch this. So with the second tool, generative fill, I'm just going to click on this option and kind of erase this sort of area. This is the watermark area, by the way, right? The area where Adobe sort of put a stamp over there, right? And I'm just going to press, I'm not going to write anything. I just press generate. I'm telling Photoshop, just try to fix it, right? That's what happens. Something interesting will happen. And it's doing it again. As I said, it takes a few seconds. When you click generate, it sends the information on the internet. And okay, give me something very nice. Give me 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll choose whichever one looks relevant. I think this one, okay, close enough. I'll just say keep, right? And so basically what I did was I used Photoshop's own image and Firefly's own image and tool. And I fixed that. And now I'm going to say, okay, I want to download this, right? And I want to keep this. I'm okay with this image. So I'm going to click on the download button. And yes, it does that. And I get that image downloaded, this whole thing. And obviously, like before, you'll have a watermark. But notice the interesting thing here. Now, the watermark is on the white area. Now, why is this so interesting? Because I can simply go to Photoshop, right-click. Let's open this image with open with and Photoshop. And watch what happens now. So now I have this image. It's fixed. It looks okay for me right now. Good enough. And I'm going to click on the crop tool, and I'll simply crop this out. And press enter. Press save, file save, and there it is. Picture done, right? So interesting. So that means that you can use the 2 options here and there and kind of not have the watermark. Right now, this has implications for other kinds of images also. Let me give another example. A very good use of this particular tool. Here, yeah. So if I search for the word watermarked image, right, you'll get a lot of pictures with obviously watermarks on them. For example, I have a picture like this, hypothetically, right? This thing that says logo, right? Let me just save this. I will say save image as, let's save this image. And I'm going to save this on my computer. Save that. Let me now go back to Firefly. Let's now go back and let's click on upload image. This is the same generative fill option. Second option, Amazon, open the image. Let's give it this particular image. And there you go. Right, Control plus zoom in. Spacebar is the hand tool, move it. Now I want this software. I want Firefly to remove this so-called watermark. Right? I just have to select it and okay. Look this. Okay, done. So also maybe some of this. And let's say generate. Let's see what it does. Again, it takes a few seconds. You're sending that information on the internet, it's doing its processing. It'll give you 4 options every time. Every time you do that, it gives you 4 options. You just choose, okay, interesting, it did something. Let's see option 1, okay, 2, 3, and 4. I think I like 4, like the mountain here, interesting. I'll say keep, right? And now obviously, suppose I like this, I want to download it. But here's the thing, remember what I just told you a few minutes ago? The watermark, it's going to be there. So, you know, doesn't matter, let's download it. And okay, it downloaded this picture. It's here again, like before. Right click, open with Photoshop, right? And just like that, remember, crop tool, remember that, crop tool? Crop this and take to the left. And okay, is this the layer? Okay, might as well put white in this. Yeah, so just want this to be white. Okay, and layer. Flatten, yeah, and then close this. Control S. Control S is save, right? I save this image. I go back to that software once again. Go back, click on upload that image again. Remember this? The one with the watermark, yeah, the one with the extra white area. Same process. You can just remove this area and click on the generate button. Let's see what it does. Again, takes a few seconds. Completely normal. Gives you a couple of options. I think about 4 options. There you go. See 1, 2, 3, 4. And well, good enough. I'll just keep this one, right? Now I want to download this. I'm going to click on the download button. It's going to download that with the watermark. Remember, just told you that. Open that up. Yeah, excellent. I see the watermark, and yeah, see, it's in the white area. It's in the white area. Now open this image with Photoshop. Let's do that. And let's use the crop tool again, once again. and crop this area out, meaning crop the watermark out, and press file, press save. There it is. Done. You see that? So watermark is gone, images there, right? Interesting. So yeah, I think a couple of questions here and there. Let me just see. Somebody's asking something relevant. Somebody said something about fireflies. Yeah, I just did that. Yeah, I just answered a question right there. Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff. I mean, this is only the beginning. There's a lot of amazing stuff you can do with that. I really want to show you that. So let me go back to Firefly, right? So you showed, okay, good enough, good enough. Let's go back, back. So now you see, when you click on this, right? Text to image, you just type whatever you want, and just like Midjourney, if you're familiar with that, or the other websites out there that kind of generate all kinds of images based on what you type, right? So yeah, there are many websites out there. It's not that different. I mean, yeah, so it can pretty much do that. But actually, the real fun stuff is in generative fill. There's a lot of amazing things that are relevant for graphic designers. So let me now give another example, a more perhaps a relevant one, right? So now let's go here, and this time, again, so generative fill generally works better with images that are created, right? So you basically create your images with this, the text to image, and if you want to edit images, you then go to generative fill and you select. So now I'm going to go and click on a particular kind of image. So I believe on my desktop, let me see, I have a couple of images here. Okay, so let's open, for example, this particular image, right? Let's open it up. Just to show you, this is a woman wearing the Eastern kind of clothes, random stuff. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open this image in the software. Right? I'm going to upload this. I'm going to say desktop, and yeah, that's the image. So I think it's called dupatta. So yeah. So what I want is, now I want this woman. Now this could be any image, right? I want this woman, number one, to be holding a phone in her hand, hypothetically, right? Let's see. So I'm going to select the hand area, like this region. And so I say this area is the area that this thing change is going to be affecting. And I'm going to say, I want, now I'm going to type what I want, right? I'm going to say holding an iPhone in hand, right? Let's click on generate. Let's see what happens. And again, takes a few seconds. It's processing. Okay, so you can see it gave you 4 options, and you can obviously choose. Now, if you don't like them, sometimes you get a bit, you'd want a different, you want more options, right? Just click on more and it'll generate 4 more. And those previous ones will also be there. So you can have like 4, 8, 12, you can keep going. There's no limit as such, right? So now it gave you 4 more options. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and see that? So, okay. I think this is a good one. So I'm going to say, I want to keep this, right? So, okay, good. So I did that change, right? Now, next. Now I want the woman, let's say, not to be wearing the thing on the earrings, no earrings, right? So I'm going to say this and this, and I'm going to say remove earrings, right? Let's see what happens. So you understand what's conceptually happening. It basically, the system understands what you're writing, and it's doing that change, right? And obviously it gives me 4 options. I mean, depending on what's happening, and you can choose, I think, anyone is of this relevant. That's a keep. Yeah, good enough. It's just area, right? Now here's the interesting stuff. Now I want the woman to be wearing perhaps different kinds of clothes, right? So I'm going to select this area. This is the area where it's going to affect. And notice the hand. Notice this is an interesting part. Notice the hand also, right? So all of this, and I'm going to say wearing a leather trench coat, right? So this entire region, I'm going to say leather, in fact, a color also. I want to say wearing a green leather trench coat, right? Let's try that, generate. Again, takes a few seconds. Now notice the hand. This is the interesting part. It's going to really try to, figure the hand, because the hand part is anything could happen. The hand could be this way, that way, and figure it out. Let's see what happens. It's generating it. So, okay, interesting. 4 options again, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you feel that, these aren't really what you're looking for, I see the green, I see the leather, that's good. I can, of course, click on more, and it's going to take a few seconds, give you some more options. I did that. I clicked on few. I just want to see. So normally, if you click a couple of times, it gets better at it, because if you click more, right, it knows that the first four were not what you wanted, right? So you'll try to figure out other styles, other variations, and yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, this is sort of what I was thinking of. Not bad, not bad. And notice the hand. This is the interesting part. It is trying to fix the hand also, you know, because that part is fixed, right? So yeah, the phone part is there. Not bad, not bad. You know, pretty interesting. I'm gonna just keep that. And yeah, so you get what I'm saying here. Now here comes the interesting part. Now, notice the woman is not wearing a cap, right? Not really. And so, for example, if you zoom in and just select that, so I want the woman to wear perhaps, you know, those ski cap, woolen ski cap kind of things. And notice how I'm going to select. So I'm going to make a particular shape. Now, a woolen ski cap would sort of only be applying till about here, you know, maybe this region. That's it. Because, you know, that snow kind of a cap thing. So I'm going to say I want a yellow, yeah, no, so specific, yellow woolen cap. Okay, let's try that. Notice the shape. The shape is important. The shape of what I created. So generating, I clicked on the generate button. Yeah, there we go. Interesting. Woolen cap, right? And obviously I can go click on more and see more variations. But I'm just going to show you something very interesting. I'm going to say cancel. I'm not keeping this. I'm saying cancel. I want to maybe have her wear something like a, you know, like a bigger maybe hat, like cowboy hat, you know, those wide rimmed hats. So now notice the shape. Notice the shape. What I'm doing here, I'm actually extending the shape something like this. So the system would know that, okay, you know, I want a wide range hat, right? And let's call this, by the way, if you accidentally sort of click somewhere, you can click on the subtract button. You can also do that. Sorry, space bar. Mouse right there. Anyway, yeah, so this region, this is fine. I want to get the, sorry, cowboy hat. Okay, let's try that. Generate. Generating. Again, it takes a few seconds. It does. I actually clicked somewhere else also, maybe they got confused, but yeah, I did select the upper area. See that. Okay, it did it, and let's go up a bit. There we go. See that? You can see that it gave me 4 variations. Now notice the shape I made. See, the shape was like a bit wider on the top head and sort of wide rimmed and so on. So it does everything based on the shape. If I had not given it a wider range, it would not have given me a shape like this. So you have to know the shape of what you kind of expect, right? And give it that region, and it would work accordingly, right? So as you can see, not bad, you know. And you know, and obviously if I put in a color, it would have put that color also. So like, yeah, good enough. I'll just keep this. But so you get what I'm, you know. So a lot of these things are pretty easy to do. And obviously, if I would want to keep this image, I would obviously want to do the download options. I would download this image, and then it would still apply the credential. And let's look at that. There it is. It download that. See, it's got that Firefly image. Remember? See that? Interesting. So what would I do? I think I've told that to you. Or you would say open with Photoshop. Right click, open with. Let's do that. And click on the crop tool. C. Let's use the crop tool and give it some space. Right, sort of like, I think, okay, yeah, good enough. And control minus, some white in it, maybe it gave me a layer, okay. Right, okay, white, and then layer and flatten, and control S, save it, right? And then all of this with that extra white on the side, saved. I will now go back. I will now upload the same image. It's from my downloads folder. There it is. It's got that extra white space. I would then zoom in to this image. And then I would, you know, select this region, the sort of the watermark. and then click on generate. I'm not saying anything. Generate, I mean, it pretty much understands. I just want to that, fix it. And yeah, it'll give me a couple of options. Four to be precise. Every time you click generate, it gives you 4 variations. Yeah, not bad. I mean, pretty much, it's pretty good. I'll say, okay, good, keep, and then download this. And obviously it would then download this with the watermark, right? Fixed image with the watermark on the left on the white area. You would open this again, open with Photoshop, and then using my crop tool, I would simply eliminate that and file and save, and that's it. Yeah, double click. By the way, it says 72 pixels per inch, right? So don't forget that it's good for the internet, it's good for web, for television. Maybe not really good for print. You'll have to do your image size calculations and fixings and all of that. So yeah, pretty, I mean, not bad. Hey, it's free, right? It's not like I paid for it. So yeah, not bad for a free option. Pretty amazing. Yeah. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that you can do, pretty magical. So now I'm going to show you another like way to use this, right? Pretty incredible, in fact. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take an image that's a bit more complicated. I'll also check on the chat. Anyone has any questions? No, I don't think anyone has a question right now. Excellent. Right? Okay, let's continue. Right. So now I'm going to take an image that's kind of a bit more complicated, right? Now, oh yeah, this is a good one. Yes, yeah, excellent. So I think I had one of, yeah, remember? I just downloaded this image. Now this image has, it's a mountain, all this mountain region and so on, right? Now what I'm going to do here, this is pretty amazing. I'm just going to use Photoshop, and with my crop tool, I'm going to extend this from here, and really a lot from here. And I'm going to say, okay. Yeah. And layer and flatten. You do that, you get everything white, right? So this is just white. Nothing, that's it. That's all the image, right? I'm just going to save it, file save. And it's saved my desktop, my downloads folder. This particular image is just white, nothing there. I just crop, extend some space, the left from the top to the right. Now let's get this picture into the same generative fill option of Firefly. So let's upload this image. Pretty sure it's there. It is, right? I just say it's in my downloads folder. See that? It's that image with the extra space on the sides. Let's open that. Amazing stuff. It's about to happen. So again, with this add tool, I'm going to just select this region because I really want Firefly to kind of fill something relevant over there. So just remove all of this white element, and there it is. Very done. And excellent, right? So notice that I kind of removed pretty much all the white, right? And some of the sides also a little bit. That's it. All you now need to do is press and now I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying just generate, just to do something. Let's see what happens. So this system, Firefly's AI system, is now going to just figure out what should be or what it thinks should be there. And it'll give you 4 options, pretty amazing. It's going to extend the image, extend or expand, and let's see what comes up. Again, it's all AI. You're not doing anything. I didn't write anything. I just told it do something, fill it up. Let's see what happens. Takes a few more seconds longer because it's a larger image, of course. But yeah, it's working. Let's give it a few seconds. Again, you'll get 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 options every time you click on the generate button. 4 variations. Okay, interesting. Now let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, and I obviously I can click on more, get more variations. I click, but I don't want to do that, right? I think it's good enough for now. You understand what's happening here? What exactly it's using, whatever it saw, and it's kind of thinking using AI, what should come here, and if I had written something at the bottom, it would have put that into a factor also. Like you would have said maybe a forest on the left, or some people, somebody on the right, or whatever, right? Whatever you type in, it would have factored that in, right? But yeah, interesting. And again, as before, when you click on keep, I'm going to say yes, I want to keep this. I'm going to download the same process as before. You know what I did, right? A few minutes ago. You would basically open this up in Photoshop, same thing, crop. I'm not repeating. I mean, you just saw that a few minutes ago, right? But yeah, yeah, not bad. You can extend images. You can extend parts of any image. And I think that is, useful, extremely useful. Yeah, okay, let's continue forward. So yeah, that's definitely one way to use generative fill. You can extend images. You can pretty much do this on anything. For illustrations, textile designs, drawings, patterns, any photograph you have, paintings, anything. It'll work. Pretty incredible. A lot of implications for stock images, photographs, all kinds of amazing things. There's just one thing I want to show you here before I go forward. Something that I use this for a lot, and most people are not even aware of this, right? Let me show you something quite amazing. I'm going to show you something. I'm sure most of you know what a lens flare is, right? I'm not referring to the lens flare in a photo. Show you an example. So okay, yeah, okay, let's try that. Yeah, okay, so as you can see there, this is a picture from the internet. I'm going to use this as an example. Let me just save it. Actually, I think this is a copyright picture, so let me just print screen it. Print screen, stick it to Photoshop, Control N, okay, Control V, C, crop. I actually just want to use as a reference. It's a good picture that I can use to demonstrate this particular example. Control 0. That's right. So now I have a picture like this, right? What I want is I want to fix this this lens flare. Let's see what the software can do, right? Sometimes it can fix these problematic areas or aberrations or all kinds of things that are there in your photograph. I'm just going to save this image, save as. Actually, I should flatten it first. Layer flatten, and then file from Photoshop. File save as. I'm saving in my downloads folder as a JPEG file because the system file requires JPEG. Right? I'm just going to call it sun.jpg and save it and done. Right now, let's import this image in Firefly. Same generative fill, same section. Upload the image. Let's upload this, and now I want to see what it does to kind of figure out how to fix this lens flare, if it even can, right? Click on this, same thing. Select the area that you feel that you think it could or should fix, at least this region at least. And okay, let's see what happens. Let's try the generate option. I have selected the region, see what it does. Because there's a lot of photographs that you may have that contain all kinds of problem areas and areas you want to blur out, light problems, and so on. So, okay, it did something. Let's see. No, okay, not bad at all, in fact. Yeah, some of these are pretty good. Okay, in one case, it even added a hat. Okay, interesting. Yeah, but I think this one, yeah, I like this. I like what it's done, right? It made it like not that harsh because before I don't think you could even see that image. Let's go back to that image. See that? It was pretty bright, as in it was hard to see. And in this case, it's a bit less harsher. You can see a background. Yeah, even though it removed the hat, but that's okay. But you can obviously click on more variables. But see, the point I'm trying to demonstrate is that if you have a problem in your image, and you're trying to use your clone stamp tool or other tools that Photoshop have, sometimes it's really hard to recover such images. And this system can actually recover those problems pretty well. And it gives you a lot of variations and, it helps you out. And so, for example, okay, I want to say I like it. But now I want to add or modify something, right? So, for example, over here, I want to remove this and I want to say, I want a, let's see, I want an old oak tree left in that region, which I wiped out. Let's see. Obviously, it'll do it. I'm just trying to say that you can then modify, add different layers, add variations to your image. I mean, you don't just have to use for one thing. You can add multiple effects, right? So, you can. I think none of these. Yeah, okay, that looks like a tree, kind of. I probably want to try more options. But yeah, it did it, right? It kind of does look like a tree, like an old tree. I'm just going to keep that one, right? And then so on. So yeah, so that's also what I use this system for fixing the problems, for fixing photographic issues, for fixing all kinds of things. You can generate things. You can even fix elements, remove things like somebody's got a, like a background grill or something, whatever the background, you can use it to remove. So it will pretty much figure it out. Pretty incredible, right? So yeah, there it is. So again, generative fill also does those kinds of things. Very useful. And then right after that, if you go back a bit, yeah. So Adobe, this Firefly, it also has something called these text effects, and you can apply different styles or textures to a text prompt. For a graphic designer, sometimes, you know, when you have advertisements where you have a particular brand name or certain letters or something, and you want a particular effect in it, this is pretty interesting. I mean, you probably won't apply it every day. I mean, I hardly would have a use for it every couple of months or so on, but it's something for free, I guess. Why not, right? To see what it can do. Let me give an example here. Now, suppose I have a company, a brand, right? Let's take a generic brand, something like Nike. That's Nike, right? For example. And what I'm going to do is on this particular, let's say, you know, and with the Nike, I want, sorry, your text actually and is here. Yeah, sorry. The text comes to the left, and on the right is the kind of effects you want, right? So I want the Nike, N-I-K, the letters to be made up of, let's say, Skittles, for example, hypothetically, right? Let's click on the generate button right there, and let's see what happens. So it's going to take those, and now you can change the font, obviously, right? You can. All these options are there. Right? Okay, it's doing something. It's applying that. Again, 4 variations. It's going to give you 4 shots. So, okay, well, it did it. Did, right? And this one's a bit slow because every option you click on, it generates again, right? So it's not like it gives you 4 options and then you can swap between them. It gives you 4 variations. Every time you click on the variation, it's going to do that entire process again. But okay, let's hypothetically keep it at this. Let me show the other options. So there's some things on the right-hand side. You have different sample fonts. You've got different shapes. You've got fonts. There's a lot of fonts available. Click on View All. Not well, some Asian fonts as well. Not really a lot of fonts, but okay. You have colors, background color you can change, text colors you can change. Right now, I think this is kind of okay. I want to show you what you can do with this. Let me download this image. Click on the download button. And what it does is, it's basically going to download a PNG file. PNG is an image with transparency. That means that if you open this in Photoshop, file open, you will get this as a transparent image, right? And what does that mean? That basically means, well, you can paste it anywhere. It's transparent, right? Literally. So yeah, as an example, just to show that, you know, and now there's a watermark, right? You can obviously remove that. You can delete it. But yeah, it's coming with the transparency. Okay, watermark, as you know, using regular Photoshop, you can just delete that, select it, and delete it. Right. So okay, so there. So interesting. A lot of, I guess, you might want to experiment a bit. Does not have a lot of commercial applications, but why not, right? I mean, there's a lot of options that are going to be there. There's a lot of built-in things that you might want to look at. For example, somebody has this black and gold dripping paint, right? So a lot of these things are very useful. If you're not really sure what you could do with them, just check out these samples and just type them in, type your letters, type in what kind of effect you want. Example, this one is a holographic skin, snake skin with small shiny scales. You might want to type that in and, you know, type the letter ABC, and then click on generate and it'll do that, right? So some of these are quite useful, right? For logos, I guess logo types that are more graphic, more pictorial, or some experimental work that you're trying to do, useful, you know, do try and practice this. Okay, let's go back. The 4th option right there is generative recolor. And this actually is something to use with, when you click on it, it actually asks you for an SVG file. That's scalable vector graphic, and let's click on that, generate. Uh-oh. Maybe they're updating it or something. Let's refresh it. There it is, right? You need an SVG. SVG is what? SVG is an Illustrator file. We quickly make one, very quickly. I'm just going to make a new file, AI, Adobe Illustrator. I have it open. And very quickly, I'm just making a very basic design here. For example, this, put a color inside it, and okay, and then patient tool, or again, very basic stuff. I'm just showing an example here. We just show this, and so on, right? So I just made a design with very basic things, right? Now let me save this file. Let me use my artboard tool here. Okay, so this is it. Yeah. So I'm going to save this file. File save as, Illustrator save as in my downloads folder as an SVG, scalable vector graphic. Call it sample 1, and let's save it, and it is saved. Just press OK, it's done. Now let's go to Illustrate, that generative recolor option. Click on upload SVG file. There's my file. I just uploaded, saved in my downloads folder. It is sample 1 SVG. Upload it up, and there it is. Now describe what colors you want. I want, well, I would like some Christmas colors. Okay, let's try that. And it's pretty interesting. So it actually, see that? You get about 4 variations. And you can obviously try some sample prompts, and a lot of other things are there. This is just like the Illustrator has a lot of those color wheel options, remember, and so on. So I, for example, can go here. You can even cycle between this. There's an option here called shuffle. You can shuffle the same colors throughout, right? And yeah, interesting. You can obviously download this. And as you can see, it's downloaded this file. And this particular file, I think I'll have to see it. I'll have to open it in the Illustrator software. Let me do that. So Illustrator, file, and open. We close this. I think we file and open. Let's open that file I just saved, and there it is. It's here, right? And is this a vector? Yes, this is a vector. Control Y. You can see, yeah, it's definitely a vector, right? So imagine color variations. Textile designers, this will really speed up your process, right? Logo variations and things like that, giving color examples. So yeah, so that was a couple of examples from the Adobe the Firefly tool, 1, 2, 3, 4. The other things they haven't released yet. I'm sure they will, right? Okay, then we have, let's see, we've got, yeah, there's a link here called fiverr.com/logo maker, fiverr.com/logo-maker. Let me put that in here, paste, and it's a free tool. And I think you need to make a Fiverr account for this, which again is free. Anybody can make a Fiverr account. Pretty much, it's very simple. After you do that, this is a free tool. It's fiverr.com/logo-maker. You can even search for it on Google, you'll find it. And let's type in a brand name, for example, green honey, right? Click on make your logo. And it asks you a couple of questions. What is your slogan? Every make every day sweet. Right, it could be anything, right? Example, slogan, right? Next, select your industry, food, okay, comma, sorry, food. Yeah, it gives you food and beverage, yeah. Maybe I want natural, something, natural, or nature. I think nature conservative biodiversity. So, this is good enough, right? Add elements you want. I want to add a bee, comma, or I want to have a something like a honey, maybe I don't know, like a hexagon shape. Yeah. Try next. So add industries, add the shapes that you want to be on the logo. Click on next, and what kind of logo style do you want? Maybe I want something geometric. For now, let's try. Do I want it to be more premium? You can choose, right? Pretty nice. I want it to be more classic. I want it to be more traditional, fun. Okay, a simple. Yeah, why not? No, actually sophisticated. Make my logo. So what is this? What is this tool? It's a free tool. Fiverr gives it to you. There's no charge for it, and it gives you variations of logos. Look at that. Now, some people say, okay, variations, very nice, but how will you show this to a client? Well, it's pretty simple once you have a lot of variation. Now, obviously, it won't allow you to download this, right? Because it's a pay up money and so on, but you don't need to do that. For example, I really like this kind of logo, right? Maybe I like it. I want to use it. So I'm just going to press print screen on my computer, on my keyboard. I will open up Adobe Illustrator, make a new file, new, and I will say paste, edit, paste. Control V, there it is. I can now click on the option in Adobe Illustrator, which is called, it's called image trace. I'm sure you've seen that before. Let's go this here. Yeah, so on this thing, I'm going to say that I want at least image trace. I want about 6 colors. Okay, let's try that. See what happens. It's processing that entire image. It's breaking into different colors, and I'll get a couple of them pretty useful. Just concerned with this one right now. And okay, so 6 wasn't enough. No, I'll have to undo this, or in fact, go to preset 16. That's right. As an increase, 6 wasn't enough. Let's try that. Give it a second. The screen has just, it's normal. This is okay. If you can't see it, it's fine. It does that for a few seconds. It's finding, and there you go. Okay, good enough for now. I can see the colors, don't worry. Just click on expand and right click on group. And then I can just take this element, just move it here. And yeah, I think just delete what you don't want. Delete all of this. Delete. So you see what I'm saying here. You can obviously type your text again, right? I just want that element. I just wanted this particular shape, this design, right? And you know, it kind of, this is my option 1. And I can obviously just click on my text tool and just type that again. Green, my text, give it some color variation, and obviously have different color, control T, put in the fonts that I would want, some different font. I'm just giving an example here. Any particular color, you can click here and obviously change your color to more orangish, yellowish kind of shape. Yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry. Click more yellowish. Yeah, right. So there we go. So you see what I'm saying here. This is one, and now how long will it take me? What, a minute, maybe 30 seconds? Just imagine you can, you know, use this as a starting point. Once you have these shapes, you can then edit them, modify them. This is your version 1, right? And then you maybe take a couple of them, you build on them, make variations, mix and match. Imagine how much you can get done in a single hour using a tool like this. When in the past, logos, a single logo would make somebody, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, hours maybe, you know, on drawing, sketching. So this just speeds up the process. It's not the ultimate solution, but it is AI. It is free, and it is giving you a lead, a start. You can be more productive in some ways. You get inspiration. Some people just use it for inspiration, just to get ideas, you know, just to start your conversation on something, to show a client option A, B, C, D, E, you know, and then they can choose between that. So yeah, so definitely that's something very useful. It's a time saver, and that's the reason I explained it, right? And then, of course, you have a couple of other things here. Now, there are websites that basically allow you to, you know, work on images. So if you basically, for example, have a black and white image, let me just show you an example of that. AI can also be used to colorize images. That's something that most people don't really think about. So for example, if I just search black and white photo from World War I, again, these are just images from the past. They're not real, they're not colored. Let's try to get something with faces or people, because AI actually recognizes faces, right? These people that have faces. Let me try to save an image like this. And yeah, I saved that in my computer. I told it to upload, and let's upload. I'll share these slides with, you know, the company. Share it with you. Drop a file, paste this. Yeah, so basically start. Let's see what happens. Just want to see what, how much, because see, these systems can read faces, and they know when a face is there, right? So let me click on preview, and okay, so it's showing you before and after. Interesting. It did recognize the face. See that? The faces are definitely pink. Interesting. Yeah, okay, that's, and let's see if I can download this. The download button. Yeah, and I can now. Yes. So if I click on this, you can see that. There we go. Yeah, I can obviously open Photoshop software. And just as an example, look, it's a start, right? Imagine doing this manually, right? And obviously you can continue working on it and so on, but it's a start. So a lot of these things, AI tools are there just to speed up your workflow, speed up your process. I showed you an example of how to use AI to make something colorized. Yeah, even you know, there are even websites where you can enhance images, meaning make the quality of it better. For example, this is, I think this is a free website. Yeah, it should be. Let me click on this image, and it's processing. And let me now click on, see, before and after. Okay. So some of these will just sharpen the image, right? And if you kind of download this image, you'll see that this image after would be generally sharper, right? And that's something I believe is useful. Right. Okay. So that I think pretty much covers what I wanted to within this 1 hour. And I think someone's asking a question. Is this all like copying a logon element? Can you do that in Photoshop? Well, you can do print screen. I mean, you can print screen from that and paste it in Photoshop and then work on it. But Illustrator just is a pixel Photoshop. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, answer that question. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to cover today. I hope you learned something good. And there's just one more thing. I think we have maybe a couple of minutes. I really want to cover it because this will help you out. I'm going to open this thing called Upwork. I think some of you know about it. It's that it's a freelance page, right? And you can basically go to this thing called, you can find jobs here. For example, find work. Yes, I find. You can find work and search for most recent any kind of job. For example, there's somebody who basically is, hiring for a particular position, right? For example, this is his job description. This is what he wants. You copy it. You take it to a system such as ChatGPT. I think I do have access to the. Yeah, I'm actually going to use the free version of ChatGPT. Those of you who are not familiar with it, this is the there's a 3.5. That's the free version, right? So I'm going to type here. This is a job, and then caption and paste it. I want to apply for it. Please make me a proposal. Enter. And then, you see what I'm saying here? It'll give you a pretty incredible to start up. You copy it, you paste it, you work on it, you edit it, you make it better. It's a good start. It's a good lead. It'll help you. That's it. That covers what we had to do today. And if you have any questions, you can contact Linkstar, Talent First Platform of Freelancers. My LinkedIn is linkedin.com/in/Fazli Azeem. I hope you had a good time learning new things here. And yeah, that's it. My work is done today.